Hey everybody, welcome to Extreme Food Reviews. My name is Daniel, and today I'm going to show you an authentic Mexican salsa recipe so that you can make a spicy restaurant-style salsa right in your own kitchen. Let's get to it. Put 5 vine-ripened tomatoes inside of a cast iron skillet. What you want to do is drizzle these with extra virgin olive oil, sprinkle a little kosher salt over the top, sprinkle these with some ground black pepper, and then put these into your oven under the broiler on high for 20 minutes. Back at the cutting board, you want to cut up 1 large sweet onion. Now, you can use any kind of onion for this. You can use white onion, you can use yellow onions. I prefer sweet onions. I think they have the best flavors for this particular recipe. All of this is going to be reduced down in a pan to a light caramelization, so just chop it up into a size that's workable within the frying pan. Of course, chopping on these is fine. It's more than we need. Just put them aside for now in a bowl and let's move on to our next ingredient. Grab 1 whole green pepper. Now, I've seen people cut peppers 9 million ways, but I'm going to show you the easiest way to cut a green pepper. Slice down the outsides so that you expose the center seed cluster, which you can take and quickly throw away. This particular recipe is what I would call a mild salsa, but for people who don't really like a lot of spice in their life, I don't even know who you people are. If you bought it off the shelf in a supermarket or grocery store, it would be what they would consider a hot salsa, but for our purposes, this is a mild salsa. We're going to use 4 cloves of fresh garlic. The easiest way to open a clove of garlic, and that's just to take your knife, place it on its side over the garlic, and hit the knife with your fist to break away the outer shell. Now let's grab our jalapenos. We're going to use 2 full jalapenos for this recipe. Now let's grab our Thai chili peppers. All we want to do for these is cut the tops off of them and put them aside back into the bowl with the other ingredients that are going to go to the stove. While we're here at the cutting board, let's grab our cilantro. We're going to coarsely chop this up for later. We only need a few cupfuls. I'm actually measuring this by the fistful. I want 2 fistfuls of coarsely chopped cilantro. Back at the stove, we want to prep a pan with extra virgin olive oil and bring it up to a medium heat. When the oil starts to slightly smoke, that's when we know it's at temperature, and that's when we want to drop our vegetable mixture in. Drizzle our vegetables with a little extra virgin olive oil. Then I want you to grab a lid and cover over this and let this start to simmer down and soften. Now, our tomatoes have been under the broiler for 20 minutes, so let's take them out. These are really starting to have some beautiful color come out, and that heat is going to bring that tomato flavor forward. Flipped over, let's put them back into the oven for another 20 minutes under the broiler. Now you can see these vegetables have really cooked down nicely. There's a light caramelization to them. There's a little bit of brown at the bottom of the pan. All of the vegetable flavors are working together with that heat, bringing the flavors forward. Now let's get these off of the heat and chuck on our tomatoes. Look at those tomatoes. They've charred nicely on the outside. They are just soft and juicy. All the flavors have come forward. These are going to mix well when we get them into our salsa. Back at the cutting board, we're going to use 2 limes for this recipe. And the easiest way to get these things to release their juices is to roll them around and massage them on the cutting board before you slice them open. Now we just want to slice off the ends and slice them in halves so we can squeeze them into our mixture afterwards. Grab your food processor and let's take our vegetable mixture that we've been sauteing on the stove and get it into our food processor. Now that we've got all our sauteed vegetables inside of our food processor, let's grab our kosher salt. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt to start. We also want to add 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Next, we want to add 1 teaspoon of cumin to our recipe. To this, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of honey. Put your lid on your food processor and you want to mix this down for about 30 seconds. Now we want to bring our fire roasted tomatoes back over from the oven. Look at these. The color is fantastic. The flavor is going to be fantastic. Let's get these into our food processor. Now let's get our lid back on and process this down for about another 30 seconds. Now let's take our limes and squeeze them into our food processor. Get as much juice extracted as you can. Next, we want to grab our cilantro. Now, like I said before, I go for about 2 fistfuls. I know that's not an accurate measurement. It's probably the equivalent of 2 to 3 cups reasonably well-packed cilantro, but grab 2 fistfuls of cilantro and pop it in your food processor. Process these ingredients for another 30 seconds. Now, the next thing we want to do is taste where we're at. So let's take a taste. So the blending of flavors here is fantastic. It is spot on. But I'd like to feel a little more sweetness in this sauce. So I'm going to grab 2 tablespoons of regular granulated sugar and add it to this mix to bring that sweetness content up where we want it. Let's taste it again. That sweetness is right where we want it. Perfect blend. I can taste all the flavors, but with this taste, I can see that the salt is a little light from where I think the optimal flavor should be. So let's grab 1 more teaspoon of kosher salt and get that into the mix. One quick final taste, and I can really feel all those flavors coming together. I can taste the jalapeno, I can taste the green bell pepper in there, I can taste all of the garlic and the onion and those fantastic fire roasted tomatoes all working together with the Thai chilies to give me restaurant style and flavor salsa. Now we grab a clean mason jar and get our mixture inside. We're going to put our top on now while it's hot, and while this cools, it'll actually create a seal to help preserve this salsa in the jar. You can put it in your fridge overnight, and the next day, you're going to have a fantastic, authentic, restaurant-style tasting salsa. So there you have it, folks, a simple, authentic Mexican salsa recipe so that you can make restaurant-style salsa right in your own home. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you can be notified the minute we have new episodes and recipes out. If your salsa is red, you're doing it wrong.